relax here. So
That's true. That's true. Okay, we're live. Wait a second or two. I didn't even bring up the other video. I don't even know how many people are watching. So hey, what's going on? It's Saturday. It's the Fanboys and Retro Review. We are joined by our super special guest, Jimmy Lee.
what's
And
up, man?
I should have advertised like, hey guys, come on the show. We got Jim Lee here. He's coming on.
There'd be a lot of thumbs down if like
Yeah, this
huge Jim Lee fans found out and it wasn't him.
Jim Lee's somehow in the chat. He's like, I'm not on the show.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Lee, why don't you take just a brief second? Go ahead and introduce yourself. Shout out any social medias you might have. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so for the folks in the chat who haven't checked my content out, I basically put out just random Alien Predator related content. I do a lot of action figure stuff, as you can see behind me, and do like news videos on the movies or the comics or the toys or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty active on Facebook and on Instagram. Yeah.
What is your Instagram handle?
Jimmy Lee Toys, all lowercase.
Jimmy Lee Toys, all lowercase. Yeah, awesome. Very cool. Thank you for joining us. This is a pretty cool story, pretty cool episode going on. But before we dive into the story, we always go over some DC related news. Anybody got anything for news?
I don't have news, but I do want to talk about a segment we haven't did in a while, New Books. I want to mention some of that.
Right. Seems like forever since we talked about who picked up what at the LCS. Go for it.
It was a big week. I mean, we could do news first. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah,
I definitely want to hit that up.
Sure. Anybody? I mean, I have not necessarily news, but cool things that could have happened. Scott Snyder, who did the Dark Knight's Metal, he sat down with Bleeding Cool and did an interview, and they were talking about like the multiverse or whatever. And they're talking about the Source Wall, and they were talking about, hey, we wanted to go this route, and Batman was going to break through the Source Wall. And they were talking about what was on the other side. What do you guys think was they were going to do? Who was on the other side of that Source Wall?
I don't know who they were thinking. I just know what was always said before, that it was the Presence is supposed to be over there.
Kind of, but not really. They were going to put Silver Surfer on the other side of that wall, and he was going to be the guardian of Marvel universe. I don't know. I guess they had planned this big DC Marvel, and it was, it was going to be, Dark Knight's Metal, and it was just going to briefly touch on the Marvel universe. It wasn't going to do this whole expanded thing, but it was just going to briefly touch on Marvel, which I thought was kind of cool. Well, obviously, the higher ups told him definitely not. Please do not put that in there. But kind of cool.
But they let Jeff Johns mention Marvel.
It's Jeff Johns. I mean, he pretty much is DC at this point.
Yeah.
But that's all the cool stuff I got going on for DC Comics news. Other than we pretty much have a confirmed Henry Cavill return as Superman.
Heard about that.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'm a big Henry Cavill guy. I'm excited to see him come back. It's what the fans wanted. It's what the fans wanted.
I guess I did have news. I forgot I had sent the link into our chat, but I guess it came out that maybe Jeff Johns is the person that got Zack Snyder fired.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah. That was an interesting article. Same thing with Ben Affleck.
I kind of didn't like that article because it sort of painted Jeff Johns in a bad light, that nobody in the movie side really likes him. He's sort of a jerk to everybody. And
yeah, well, to briefly sum up the article, Ben Affleck wanted to do this Batman, DC wanted this Batman, and DC said they're not going to budge, and Ben Affleck said, peace, I'm out.
And they said it even looks like, with the younger Robert Pattinson and everything, it looks like it might even sort of be Jeff Johns' original idea.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was interesting. I'm not sad to see Zack Snyder go, but losing Ben Affleck, I would loved.
He was a great Batman.
Yeah, a lot of people hate him, but he was a true fan, and I would forget the Snyder cut. I would love to see his Batman script. I want to see it. I guarantee
the Affleck cut.
Yeah, I guarantee that would have been a fantastic movie if they let him make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said it was inspired by some other ninja movie where, he had to get to the Joker at the top of the building, and Batman had to fight floor by floor by floor to get to the Joker to stop him from doing something. I don't know. That just might be rumor, but
isn't that Judge Dredd?
Is it Judge Dredd?
I was about to say that was the best part of Daredevil season 2.
Oh yeah,
Daredevil fought up and down the building or whatever. That was fantastic.
Yeah, when it was all the hallway shot, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and the camera was just following him. Like I told my my wife, I'm like, this is the Bat. Like if they would have Batman do this, we'd have a successful Batman movie. Yeah.
That's true, but I mean, news-wise, it was kind of short. Henry Cavill kind of was like the big hot one for the week. That's all I got. Anybody got anything else? Jimmy? Anything in the world of Alien and Predator? Any big news?
Honestly, it's been pretty slow. I don't think there's still no word on what they're gonna do with the movies or the Disney Plus series. So.
That's right. I keep forgetting that Disney now owns Alien and Predator.
That's news to me. I didn't know Disney was going to have a series.
Is that because of like Fox or something?
Yeah, because they were Fox. Yeah.
Yeah,
Disney bought
Predator series or something.
Yeah,
that's probably not good.
Yeah, it's probably not good at all.
It's not good.
We'll be seeing PG-13 xenomorphs.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that in this book coming up here soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can move into your books there, Tim. Would you pick up?
There's actually a lot of good stuff coming out. I just want to highlight 3 books, and you hear me mention these books all the time. But this is the new Terrifics, and as you can see, it says the smartest heroes in the DCU. I mean, you got Blue Beetle there, you got Man-Bat. This is actually something because I still like to make up mock Justice Leagues in my head. And this is the T-Council that Mr. Terrific called in. This would be like my dream team if they added Steel.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Dr. Midnight. That's like pretty much the team I would put together. I mean, there's some people I didn't think of course, that's already in here. But this was a great issue, seeing the T-Council and all these smart heroes, the Atom, I mean, everybody. And then this, I think this is the best thing going in DC right now. This is the new Batman Beyond. And we're just starting the next story after the story that introduced the Batwoman.
That's right. I forgot about that one.
I mean, if anything should be hot, should be selling out, a book you shouldn't be able to get right now, it should be Batman Beyond and not regular Batman. This has been so good, so interesting. I cannot recommend. Go out and find, what is this, 43? Maybe go back to 37, 38 and try to get up to this, get the Batwoman story.
It's all been good. Start at number 1.
Yeah. And then this, we have a new writer on Justice League. And this issue was good, but the issue before, which was 44, it reminded me, I'm not going to give spoilers on this, but they were fighting giant animals. And that just reminded me so much of reading like the old Justice League of America, where like every other issue, they'd be fighting a big animal or a smart animal or what have you. This just feels very old school, the Justice League you want to read. And I'm really digging it. Who's writing it? Venditti. I believe he did some good work on Green Lantern, too.
Yeah, he killed it.
So I would recommend those 3 series. I mean, other good stuff's coming out. What else I got here? Oh, I mean, Green Lantern Season 3. I don't want to spoil this. I want to show you guys a page. Liam Sharp's art has changed a little bit. I mean, look at that.
Solo here. There you go.
It's almost horish. You're seeing stuff like in the Mist and stuff in this issue.
Yeah.
I kind of like the change of pace. And then I put some of my books away already, but look at this cover for Batman and the Outsiders.
That's a good one, too. I heard that one was getting better. It started off pretty weak, but it's slowly getting better.
I mean, you have Lady Shiva in this. I love Cassandra Cain, as you know. Duke Thomas is a character I would love to see him do more with.
I'm glad somebody's liking Duke Thomas.
Yeah, there's a lot of... See, I think he's a cool character, a cool idea, a cool costume. They've just done nothing with him. You know what I mean?
That's the problem. Yeah. I haven't really done anything.
But a lot of good stuff came out from DC this week. Definitely check it out.
You pick up anything cool there, Dave?
I did. I forgot to bring them with me, but I got my DC books for the week. But I did hear something kind of funny from my LCS. that I thought was interesting. All of their DC books have been canceled. Because when I went into the shop, he said, I don't have anything for you this week. And I was like, oh, really? And he says, yeah, it was a slow week. And I go over to the racks and I'm like, hold on, like I should be getting some of these books here. And he says, oh, and then he realized he messed up. And then he was kind of explaining why. And I guess what had happened was they, like something with Diamond, they canceled all their books, but only DC. Mm-hmm. Now, how funny is that? So then they said, well, you have to reorder them. It's like, okay. So he put the whole order back in. It got canceled again. It just keeps getting canceled multiple weeks in a row. And so he's had to go onto eBay to buy all of his DC books for his customers.
That's
I've also heard that I've heard Diamonds remove them. I mean, I can't confirm this, but I heard they removed them from like the catalogs they make and stuff.
Are you serious?
Like, they're just completely blackballing DC now because DC went with the other distributors during this. Yeah.
That's
crazy. Funny.
Yeah, I've seen articles pop up. I didn't click in to read them, but that's what the article said is like Diamond removes them as a preferred customer. Diamond removes them from catalogs. Diamond's out to get them right now.
Dang, wow. I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to work for Diamond. I mean, there's a lot of DC collectors out there.
There's a lot of, why would they say no to a customer like, DC and Warner Bros? That'd be stupid.
Yeah, what's it like? 35% of the market?
Something like that. Yeah.
I mean, think about this too. If we didn't have all this chaos going on right now and the government's seeing that with the monopoly they have, I mean, the government could come in and split you up, shut you down.
It's funny you say that because back in the day, Diamond did get in trouble with the government about monopolies and stuff, but the federal government dropped that case.
I mean, all DC would have to do is
things to do right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it wasn't so crazy right now, all DC would have to do is make a phone call, and Diamond would be in big trouble. Right now, the government would be like, get in line. We're trying to keep food going out.
Comic books, put them to the top of the list.
Exactly. That's maybe funny. Trump's a DC fan. We could get some help.
Who knows? Who knows? I picked up a stack of books too. Can't really see it. It's back there somewhere. It was an interesting kind of week. My LCS officially reopened. No more curbside pickup. You can still go into the store, but it's still limited to similar to your situation there, Tim. Only a few people.
I was so mad because you remember last week, I'm like, I'm going to have to go out of my way, like 20 minutes out of my way on an already hour drive home. And I look at what's coming out. It's like Terrifics, Batman Beyond. I'm like, you got to be kidding. This is not the week for me to miss. Like the best stuff's coming out.
Jim, do you keep up with any of the Alien and Predator books at all?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a bit behind at the moment. But as far as like the recent comics go, they've been pretty slow. There's some new there's a new Alien book out called Aliens Phalanx, which I've heard mixed things about, but I haven't checked it out.
Interesting. Yeah, I knew some of the writing on some of the Alien and Predator books been spotty. It's not something I pick up or read that often, but it's definitely something I try to at least keep an open ear out because I do like Aliens and Predators. I want to see them do well for sure.
Did you see Magic Lasso's comment? And that actually reminded me, I guess there is other news. DC canceled like a huge amount of books.
Oh, right here. Yeah. Did you see right there?
The 100-page giants?
They weren't books that anyone was getting other than Tim. So
yeah, it was like all of, I think the rest were all the dollar comics and well, no, they canceled the dollar comics and all of the facsimiles, including Green Lantern 76 facsimile, which I'm really bummed about. So
you're nostalgic.
I think they were starting to overdo the facsimiles, though. Maybe not DC, but Marvel like kind of did it for me. Like at first, I was like, "This is really cool," but then when it became like every book, I was like, "All right, hold on a minute." I'm not going to read books that I already have.
Yeah, Marvel's doing books that are like 2 months old.
Yeah, it's a little
facsimile from last week.
Exactly.
much.
I never really got into the facsimiles or the reprints or whatever. It just was never for me. I can just read that online. What do I need a paper copy of? Superman Action #1. Like, it's never going to be worth anything. What's the point?
It's cool, man. You know how cool it is to have like an Action 1 or something sitting.
Dude, if I had an Action 1, tell you what, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So let's say you found one in like the insulation in your walls. Do you sell it or do you keep it?
Oh, I'd probably sell it.
Would you?
I probably would. But that's a tough question, though. That's a really tough question. Like,
I would, because
I don't know.
I'd feel like a target having it.
Someone's going to break in your house.
You don't have to tell anyone.
If you have money, the last thing you want to do is like drive your Ferrari to Walmart and get out with your diamond neckless. You may as well have a sign that says "rob you."
Yeah.
Well, like if you got an Action 1, you couldn't tell nobody. Yeah.
Showing up to your place of employment in your brand new Bentley.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, dude, you make like $10 an hour. What are you doing?
Yeah, what is that? Superman 3 or 4?
Yeah, right.
Where that happened?
What, really?
Yeah, what's his name? The famous comedian in that movie. I forget his name now. He was stealing money from his company.
Richard
and
Pryor.
Richard Pryor, and they figured it out, and they're like, who could be doing this? And he like pulls in a Ferrari. Like, I think it's him.
I'm not a detective, but I think it might be him.
Exactly.
That's too cool. But I got nothing else. We went over our books. We got news. Been kind of slow.
Yeah. Slow news, but a lot of good books this week.
A lot of good books. But I'm ready. Let's jump right in.
Sure.
Let's do
Issue
this.
1. Take it away, Mr. Fu.
Issue 1 this week. You know what's funny about this? That we're doing the retro review on this week is I just had all 4 of these books A-okay'd to me from Squatchy
I know, it was
Comics.
perfect. It was perfect. As soon as you pulled them out that you had an A-OK, I was like, that is like perfect timing.
Yeah, so
this is the very first one-shot or miniseries of Green Lantern that Dave's ever got.
Yeah, whatever. All right, so let's just dive right into this thing. Man, this is definitely an Elseworld story. This thing starts off basically with a Green Lantern ring on the floor. There are alien eggs around, and it's got a Green Lantern strung up. And I mean, this is like page 3. It's popping out of his chest. How cool is that?
That's really cool. An alien popping right out of the middle of the symbol.
Yes. Yeah, so that's how this book starts.
Do we know the name of this particular lantern? I don't. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, they say it. Hold on.
Dude, Tony, had you come prepared with that as the trivia?
Baron Char, BARIN CHAR. Kilowog tells how in a little bit.
Oh, okay. So it's not just some lantern they invented for the story. Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. So this story starts out with a bunch of bank robbers dressed up as aliens. These are just masks, robbing a bank. And who shows up to save the day but Green Arrow and Black Canary? No sooner did they show up, and there's actually one of them on the ground that's grabbing for his gun. It was going to take out Green Arrow. And the hero of our story shows up, Mr. Hal Jordan. So Hal shows up, does his thing, saves the day, takes the crooks off to jail, and then he gets from across the universe, he gets a telephone call from this giant blue head, one of the guardians of the universe. And they basically tell him, look, there's been an incident, right? You got to go off to this sector of space where there's this planet that nobody ever goes to, and go check out, why this lantern is not returning our call, basically, right? So they know something's up.
We've left so many voicemails.
Yeah.
It'd be weird for anyone reading Green Lantern at this time to even know who the Guardians are, because Hal had killed them all by this point.
Yeah, so this is like late 90s.
Yeah.
It's like 99, maybe it's even 2000. I don't know. Yeah, because there's an ad in one of these books for the 2000 election, so it's right around that time frame.
Yeah, 2000.
Yeah. So so Kyle Rayner is the Green Lantern at this period, right? So Hal Jordan showing up here is a little different. And then he shows up to this planet to investigate, and look, Kilowog and Green Man and a whole bunch of the Green Lanterns show up to help. And that's when they kind of know that, oh, something's up, right? Why do we need all these lanterns there? So they go onto the planet. They're searching for the ring. They're honing in on the signal. And Hal finds the ring in this cave. And he's wondering why it never flew up to find another lantern. But they do find the guy they're looking for, and that is the hole in his chest.
They never explain why the ring didn't leave.
They didn't.
Right.
They didn't. And that's why I was starting to stutter when I was saying, because I'm like, wait a minute, why did they? You're right. They did not explain.
I like Hal's construct flashlight. I thought that was kind of cool.
I did too. I like that. Yeah. Much better than some of the constructs we'll see coming up, but enough of that. And maybe the reason they don't tell us is because they don't have time to tell us why the ring didn't go, because this is the next page. There's clearly a whole hive of aliens waiting for them. And, Hal being the lantern that he is, he quick pops into action. But his constructs are broken. They go fighting these things. You got Tomar Ray cuts one of their tails off, gets splashed with the acid. And so then they realize, oh, whoa, something's up here. And then Hal gets, a hold of his nerves and creates this bubble of willpower around them. And they realize, oh, they really can't do any harm to them. Their only real power was sneaking up on them. But once they know that they're there, he can hold the willpower shield up and everything's fine. So all this is good. And then the story takes a weird turn. So apparently at this point, Hal Jordan decides that the Green Lanterns are not allowed to kill. Now, I don't remember that rule. I seem to remember there's been many wars where many people have died. But that's his rule. And so they decide that they have to save all of these aliens that are trying to kill them all. Just killed one of their Green Lanterns. And it's the only, thing that they can do. And so they wrap them up into these giant green balls, fly them across the universe to the only place that they can think of as safe to house these aliens. And that would be, of course, Mogo, the Green Lantern planet. So for those that don't know, Mogo is a Green Lantern. He is a living planet, and he is a giant Green Lantern, basically. He is the most powerful of the Lantern Corps because of his size alone. So whenever the Green Lanterns have trouble or when O is under attack, Mogo becomes the backup headquarters for the Corps. And part of the reason that they want to take him to Mogo, in addition to Mogo being so strong, is also because Mogo is uninhabited. So now think about this. So Hal Jordan's, these things are attacking him and his friends, but he decides, we can't kill these things. So instead, we're just going to transport them to an uninhabited planet and we'll just let them starve to death. That's great. That's what I took out of this story.
There's a couple of things to point out. One, because I guess the aliens aren't necessarily sentient. Green Lanterns could kill them, but until the Sinestro War, the Green Lanterns weren't allowed to kill sentient beings.
Okay, all right.
And then also, Mogo is a place that's pointed out where Green Lanterns that are mourning or have mental troubles go to be comforted by Mogo. So Hal decides to put vicious creatures there. Is that early Parallax? He's already gunning for his fellow Lanterns.
Yeah. No, I mean this was not Hal Jordan. Come on.
It's definitely Elseworlds.
the story ends with this spacecraft entering orbit above Mogo, and they've been damaged. So you know what's about to happen. We've seen this before. This movie before.
Yeah. I thought one thing though, that the tone of this until Hal's like, "Hey, don't kill him," it was almost like an Aliens movie. Like it had a good little horror element to it.
It was. The whole opening was good, and then we can't kill them. Let's bubble them up and transport them to Mogo. That started losing me.
Literally, let's put them in bubbles.
It's literally setting up the rest of the story, but it's a bad way to do it. You know.
So throughout this story, though, I want us all to remember one thing, and I'm sure Jimmy will remind us of this too. Believe it or not, Aliens is a horror movie.
Yes.
At
Okay.
the end
So,
of
Jimmy, can you confirm that Aliens is not for children?
it is not for children. It's a very, very dark lore.
Usually.
Pretty soon we'll be seeing in the xenomorph with a lantern ring.
That would have been cool.
That would have been. How awesome would it have been if you see an alien queen with a red lantern ring?
It's like whoever wrote this story was watching Resurrection, thought, what if Green Lanterns could fit into this story?
Yeah.
What can happen? Bubbles?
It could have been really cool, actually. So what you just said, Tony, on issue 4, I'll just jump ahead real quick here. This cover where it says Green Lantern sees red.
It's very deceiving.
I was like, oh, it's a Red Lantern alien. And I was like, wait a minute. This came before the emotional spectrum.
Yeah.
But that would have been awesome.
That would have been
Red
awesome.
Lantern alien queen. Oh, man.
So jumping into here to issue 2, we see Kyle Rayner is in his apartment doing his, because I guess he's a comic book artist by trade.
Yeah.
Which is
It's sort of like if Squatchy was a Green Lantern. Look at that art he's drawn.
Green Lantern, yeah. So he's finishing up some artwork, and he's heading to the kitchen to get some more coffee. And who's there? It's Tomar, just chilling.
He's standing in his kitchen.
I like Kyle Rayner's reaction. He's like, "Oh, you're not from the village, are you?" Like the first time they met.
He just sort of rubs his eyes. You're still there?
Yeah, right. Exactly. And Tomar's like, "Come with me. Like, we got this thing to do." Goes into the other room, and it's also full of even more aliens, which is confusing. So we got Burke, Ash, I can never pronounce her name, and Salak. And so that's the trio. And then Tomar is actually telling Kyle Rayner the story about the aliens that were previously encountered, because he was there. So he's kind of filling in Kyle Rayner. And of all the constructs that you would ever want, Kyle Rayner constructs a servant to carry his lantern battery, which could be cool. I think
that he calls
could be
Tweety.
cool. Yes.
I mean, right here, this is what everybody came for tonight. Soak it in.
So you should mention too just how dismissive Kyle is of these these former Green Lantern Corps members.
Yes.
And the fact that he's too good to go and actually patrol his entire sector. No. He's just gonna take the easy route, just protecting Earth. Even though he admits he's the last Lantern left, and the whole universe needs him.
He's tired. He's tired from patrolling the entire universe.
No, he said he never leaves Earth. He said he never leaves Earth.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, did they mention why these are former Green Lanterns? I don't think they mentioned why they're former. Because Tomar's big. He's a big lantern, not big physically, but I mean, like, he's a top tier lantern.
Well,
that's not Tomar Reed.
It's not. Who is it?
No, he says he introduces himself. He was going to be the next one of his race to get the ring.
Oh yeah.
And then the other ones are ex Green Lanterns.
Sure. So
you talk about a cool construct. Kyle creates this thing they fly on, and he's controlling it with a video game controller. That's cool stuff right there.
That is cool. Yeah, so they zip off to Mogo or whatever, and I thought that was pretty cool. If I can control things with a PlayStation controller, I totally would.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
So they're checking out this ship, this crashed ship, realizing how massive this ship really is, and it is gigantic. So they go inside, and they find. Let me get to the page here. A survivor, and what is her name?
Crow.
Yeah, Crow.
Bro.
I always wanted to say Ash for some reason. I don't know why. But she puts a gun to Kyle's head, but he constructs a frog with his frog's long tongue to take the gun away.
This is good stuff, ain't it?
Yeah, this is
This
great.
is good stuff.
You have all the possible things you could do. I think a frog would be at the bottom of that list.
Well, I love how the frog, it even shoots up that little tongue that the girl don't notice and grabs the gun. I mean, that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Sure, let's go with that. That'd be good. So they talk about what's going on. Crow tells them that she's trying to find survivors of this crash. She was part of the crew, and that's exactly where she's going. And Kyle gives her her gun back. All the other people that were with Kyle Rayner, they all got their guns out, and they're going to go hunting for any particular survivors. Let me forward here for a bit. They get to like this big, gigantic like hole, and it's really deep, and they start to see like the very, very popular drips like from the alien's mouth. What's up, Geeky Guy Comics? What's going on, man? So of course, in every alien movie that happens, everyone's got to look up. Like, hey, what's dripping on me?
This isn't rain.
Yeah, right. This is kind of real, and it's a whole bunch of xenomorph aliens, like on the ceiling of this thing. So there's this big battle that ensues. Crow is killing them, but Kyle Rayner is using his constructs to like block at them from being killed. But they're moving pretty quick.
Look at this page. Someone gets knocked down the hole, and he sends a Superman construct behind his back to catch him.
Yes,
That's top-notch stuff going on here.
Yeah, but on the page prior, he used a giant
baseball mitt
mitt
to protect that one guy. But they did take that mysterious person. I can never remember her name. She's like a nobody character they invented to get killed. The purple face lady or blue face lady or whatever.
It's like Murhana or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But that is cool that Kyle did the cool Superman thing. What construct did he use on the same panel? Is that like a bulldozer or something to like block that other one?
It's what do you call it? A catapult?
Catapult, a trebuchet, yeah, something like that.
Doing two constructs at once.
Right?
Let's point that out.
He's got a flamethrower. He uses a flamethrower construct this time.
Oh, Tim.
But that's like
Been
the
a while
signature
since we
way
had
to like,
Kyle on the show.
that's like the signature way to like defeat these xenomorphs, right? And I mean, in the movies they use a lot of flamethrowers and stuff like that.
Yep.
Which is kind of cool. It'd be cool if they had like somehow constructed like that alien that in the movies, the machine gun that they use, the humans use, all the colonies, like I don't remember what it's called, like the pulse rifle or something.
Yeah, that would have been very cool.
The smart gun, the long one.
Yeah, he constructs the long one. It's like that would have been cool.
When I was hoping he'd construct those like turrets, remember from the movie that were those were cool.
That would have been funny, just a cool little nod to.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of fun. But some other cool constructs he does a giant flashlight.
Look how much bigger it was than the one Hal did.
Yeah, Hal's was a mag light.
Yeah.
A bird.
Yeah.
He constructs a bird.
Did you notice he even constructed and threw little flares down in the hole too?
Yeah.
Hello,
cool. Something else is about to fall down the hole as well. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, just like the first issue, it takes a weird turn here.
Yeah. It's going to take an interesting turn. So an alien actually knocks the the fake Tomar-Ray into the hole.
The fake Tomar.
Because he's a fake Tomar-Ray. Kyle Rayner reaches his hand down to catch him, and his ring falls off.
Yeah,
his ring falls off. Kyle lost his ring. Are you kidding me?
Such poor writing there to kind of stretch the. If his ring didn't fall off, this would only be 3 issues long. They needed 4.
If it was any other character, I would agree with you, but it kind of fits with Kyle. So yeah,
fits with Kyle.
But and that's where issue 3 kind of ends with Kyle Rayner like, oh no, my ring fell off.
Oh no, whoops, I lost my ring.
Whoopsie daisy.
By the way, I'm the last Green Lantern left.
That one thing that I'm known for is that's the most powerful weapon in the universe. Was a size too big and slipped as soon as I make a straight hand.
He's a great Lantern.
Yeah, he's
real great Lantern.
He's
that's the end of issue 2.
Yeah.
And, Tim's going to take over for issue 3.
So we got issue 3. And this was the issue that Dave was complaining about, saying Kyle was whiny. So basically, Salak and I forget the girl's name, the one survivor. It starts off with them staring down the hole because everybody's been taken by the aliens.
It should have got it refitted.
And I forget, they may have mentioned it the issue before, but Kyle notices that they weren't killing them, they were just taking people hostage. And it's sort of interesting to note here, Kyle's actually trying to will his ring back to him here. Because he was the first Green Lantern to be able to do that, to just call his ring back to him.
Did it work?
No. They never explain it. They never explain why the rings...
They don't. Yeah.
Verizon don't have coverage on Mogo.
I think they do. I would just point out that if this was Hal Jordan, Hal would just create a new ring out of nothing for himself.
Yeah. After Kyle brought him back from the dead. But
we can't all be Hal Jordan.
So this girl, I know I forgot her name, is giving him a gun and he don't want it because he doesn't kill because he hangs out with Batman, and that's like Batman's mantra.
So we got another one that kill. They've just taken all of their friends.
Yeah, we'll just skip over Kyle learning to shoot the gun.
Yeah, that was great.
It was actually really, I think, a move of seduction on Kyle's part to get her to train him.
Oh yeah, he's been putting the moves on for.
I don't know how to shoot a gun. If only someone would show me.
Exactly.
And she wants nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to rappel down, and that, of course, is freaking Kyle out a little bit. And I like something Salak says here. It says members of the Green Lantern Corps were to be fearless. It was a great deal easier to be fearless when you had the most wondrous weapon ever created. Something like this without a ring is when one truly conquers fear. And I think that's true. Good dialogue, and I love how they have some of the better dialogue on the back of these books, too.
Yeah.
I mean, these books definitely have some plot holes and some poor writing decisions, but I don't think these are meant to be serious books. These are meant to be fun, and I think they are fun.
I will just go back to one thing. Aliens is a horror movie.
Yeah. So they rappel down the wall and they find sorry, it's hard for me to tell what I'm showing. They find some dead people in which these things have already hatched out of. And it does raise, like you're saying, this is supposed to be horror. Well, if you're a fan of Kyle in this time period, what's scarier? Not having your ring in a situation like this. You know what I mean? Like it brings the fear up. So then, and boom, they of course get attacked by some aliens. And I love these big splash pages. Each issue's had one so far.
Yeah.
Aliens coming at them. And Kyle, I know Dave was mad that Kyle doesn't want to kill. He doesn't want to shoot these aliens. Well, not wanting to kill, that's an attribute that, eventually led to him becoming a White Lantern, where he actually was a giver of life. Just pointing that out. So then he finally decides to shoot his gun, and his gun's jammed.
Is that a metaphor?
There's like this great emotional turmoil that didn't even matter. His gun don't work.
Like, I can't imagine having these acid-blooded veil aliens coming down on you, and you're sitting there having a discussion with your other party members about, oh, I don't want to kill, and come on.
Yeah. Wait, every horror movie is like that. There's some person that's just like, they deserve to die. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're saying something stupid.
Yeah, only it was Kyle.
So fight goes on. Kyle almost gets got. And here on the bottom, you can see the survivor save him, blowing a hole right through the back of that alien's head. So
there's a whole lot of nothing.
Scanning forward. Yeah, so basically they escape there and they're crawling through and they come across the alien queen. They could see it's actually a pretty crazy little splash page there. I'm gonna try to show it.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to see what I'm showing, but you can see all their friends have been captured. And I think it shows on the last page here, yeah. His ring is trapped in like the spit or the afterbirth, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So,
I mean, because it is like a birthing room, so it could be like afterbirth or whatever.
Afterbirth.
So Kyle didn't have the willpower to suck his ring out of alien spit.
Yeah, but we already saw a precedence. Why did the ring in the first book not leave? Green Lantern rings don't move in this mini.
Tim, you glossed over something though, and I don't know why. Why would you not have wanted to talk more about this page here?
That's the page I showed.
Yeah, but what's happening right there? There's this really creepy scene where Kyle is sniffing her hair and she calls him out on it. Are you smelling me? So yeah, Kyle's this creepy dude. They're in the middle of this battle with aliens. He refuses to kill, hitting on this girl, and then he starts smelling her as she's trying to teach him how to use a gun.
I could answer that really easily for you. He's in the Justice League with Batman right now. Batman trains you that you will die if all of your senses aren't 100%. Well, you know what he was smelling right there. We're going to find out more about that character in the next book. He was using his detective skills from Batman and had just figured that out for himself.
Yeah, you know what he figured out? What conditioner she used.
All right, Tim. You know, if that was true, we'll see what happens in the next one.
Kyle doesn't have luck with women.
Well, it's kind of funny. I'll mention after Jimmy reviews it, but I do want to point a couple things out, and it's sort of funny what goes down with her.
Yeah. So that's actually how I was going to start this review. I was basically going to say, Kyle's track record when it comes to the females is spotty,
Subpar. It is subpar.
Well, they have a phrase they've coined for people like Kyle. He is a literal lady killer.
Oh, you said it.
So, kind of feel bad for this chick. Because we pretty much all know what's going to happen. So, yeah, so the last issue starts out with they're watching the nest, from a height. Kyle can see the ring that's stuck in that goo or that afterbirth or whatever, and he's complaining, listen, it's not coming to me. I'm calling the ring. It don't want to come to me. So there's that. And basically, Crow is looking at all the other people who have face huggers on them and basically telling Kyle, hey, listen, they're dead. They're going to die. So we better, just go in now. And Kyle's kind of being a pussy and saying, we're just going to go in with one gun. It's like I'm a Green Lantern or something. And so basically they hash this plan where the chick runs in and distracts all the warrior aliens and whatnot, because apparently they think the queen isn't going to be a problem. And then she runs down there, she's distracting them, and Kyle goes for the ring. Long story short, he gets hold of it, right? Well, actually, did he? Let's see. I can't remember when. Because he did a little smooch.
Yeah, he didn't get the ring yet.
Yeah, he did a smooch with the girl, with Crow. You know?
Yeah, that's very important to call out because he was not just doing detective work, as Tim has implied.
Yeah.
He went
maybe he had to know what she tasted like. You know, he said you got to use all your senses.
Exactly. That's two of them. We got smell and touch or taste.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So before she jumps down, he's like, "Hey, listen, I want to know what you taste like." And so they do a little, their thing. So then, the action goes down. She's trying to distract all the warrior aliens. Kyle is pushing through behind her. She takes a bit of damage, and that's kind of where Kyle's love life drops a bit. Suddenly she's like Gus Fring from Breaking Bad, and half her face is off. And what do you know? It's an android, because you can't have an alien book or anything alien without your android. So I'm sorry, Kyle. Then he battles a face hugger, barely, almost attaches onto him. He practically gets it off him, because that's when he grabs the ring, right? As it's attaching to his face, And he gets hold of the ring. He flushes it off, and he thinks he's the man. He can save the day again. Look at me. I just kissed a robot girl. I'm like on top of the world. And then right behind them, the alien queen suddenly isn't docile anymore.
Look at the size of that thing.
It's gigantic, and it was pissed at him.
Hey, Dylan, how's it going?
What's up, Dylan?
Yeah, so essentially they get in a bit of a tussle, right? Kyle constructs a couple weapons, most notably the giant machine turret, just blasting at her crazy amount. And then he approaches Robot Girl, Crow, I think her name is, and essentially she's saying, "You know what you have to do, pal? You kissed a robot girl. Now you got to wipe out this entire race.
Yep.
It's against your morals and your morality." And then, for some reason, the robot cries, but it's like that milk coming out. So I think that was kind of a cool touch.
Yeah, I think it was a nice nod to every android kill ever.
Yeah, and again, I like that because like with basically all alien androids, they kind of show a little bit of emotion, but they never confirm that they have emotion. So like another hint at that I thought was cool. And so finally he sucks it up and he lets go of his morals, and he does the famous lantern speech, and he uses the power of the ring to wipe him out. There you go.
Aliens destroyed.
Yeah, aliens.
So in the end, all of that, I can't kill, I can't do this, it was all for nothing. But I guess a few of his friends were lost in the meantime.
Yeah. Well, you see, that's one thing I wanted to point out. This confirms it's Elseworlds, because Salak died, and Salak didn't. You know what I mean? Like, he's still alive going forward.
Well, and I don't think I ever recall hearing about aliens being on Mogo.
And then they found the survivors, right?
They found the survivors. And then Kyle's feeling sorry for himself, saying, "I'm not a real Green Lantern. Green Lanterns don't kill. I just wiped the entire goddamn race and kissed a robot girl. What's wrong with me? My ring can't even fit on my finger properly. What kind of man am I?"
You've got problems when your Green Lantern ring keeps falling off.
Yeah.
Maybe he should put it around his neck on a chain.
Yeah,
that's cool. That was an awesome story, you guys.
And we got through that a lot quicker than I thought we would.
Yeah. Well, it's there's not a whole lot to go over. It's a lot of cool art and classic alien fights.
Yeah. Pretty fast moving.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think about the art?
I thought it was all right. It was typical 90s art for me.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I especially liked all the the big splash scenes and stuff. Yeah. But I want to see if I can find a good example.
It turns out every book had one.
I mean,
I wasn't sure if the fourth one did, but when the Alien Queen showed up, that was it.
Yeah, I mean, I like the design of the queen and all the warriors because what they did is usually like xenomorphs are really mechanical, but these seem buff almost, like you can see muscles in some panels, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Aliens that hit the gym.
Yeah, base bodybuilders. Yeah, bodybuilding xenomorphs.
Trying to find a good example. So the only thing I noticed about the art, I really did enjoy the art, but that's not even the best example. I thought it just seemed like they drew Kyle like a little baggy. Like
I got that impression too.
Like his shoulders were a lot of times were like real slouched low. His outfit always looked like it had too much. It was too big for him. I don't know. That was the only thing I noticed about the art that I thought was a little funny. But otherwise, I love the aliens. I thought that was really cool. All the Green Lantern, the constructs and stuff. That was cool.
And Ron Mars is a pretty prominent Green Lantern writer. He does a lot of good Green Lantern stuff.
Wasn't he the creator or co-creator of Kyle?
I don't recall.
Because I know he was writing at least, I don't know if he did the first appearance or not, but he was the writer of Kyle when, starting issue 51 after the Hal Jordan story.
He must be DC's go-to guy when they want to mix up worlds, because he also did the DC versus Marvel crossover.
Yeah. That's something I love about
Batman too. Didn't he do Batman versus Alien and Predator or something?
I could tell you in a second. I actually just got.
Where's Metarog going to need him? He'll just be like, "Yep, there it is. Here, you need an answer? Bam, there it is." He's probably getting his Mobius chair reconfigured.
I actually just got Batman.
That was the best. Every time you said that Metarog's name or whatever it was, you're like Metarog.
Metarog.
Yeah.
It was a happy mistake.
In my Jack B mystery box, I got Batman Aliens 1, which is actually the last issue I need. And it's signed. I'm not quite sure who by. It's hard to see through the...
Yeah, I can't really tell.
But yeah, it's Ron Mars.
Yeah, okay,
wow.
Cool.
So,
yeah, I was going to say, they must do him for like weird universe crossovers. I don't know why. Hey, work is work, I guess.
Ron Mars is really good, and one thing that's really cool about his Kyle Rayner stories that I was even mentioning, you never see as much different constructs in any Green Lantern book as you do in those Ron Mars Kyles. Like, he really goes out of his way to do a lot of stuff with them.
Ron Mars comes to a lot of my local conventions. He must be a local guy to me. I see him all the time.
But remember Green Lantern Rebirth? Hal even pointed that out, that Kyle does a lot of different stuff because he's an artist.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was supposed to be the whole idea with him, right?
Yeah. So who's got what for book show? Want to move on to a book show?
We're gonna give scores.
Oh yeah, scores. Sorry, yeah, totally forgot. Yeah, my bad. Tim, what do you think?
I'd say art was 4.5. Like Dave mentioned, his 90s art, and it stays really true to the Kyle Rayner regular stuff, which is some of my favorite. Story, I'd give another 4.5. It had some obvious holes, but like I said, I don't think this was meant to be a serious story. It's just supposed to be fun, and I think it did that well. It had the fun, and it even had those really cool horror moments every single book. Covers, I mean, they're all right. I'd probably give them a 3.5. Nothing spectacular.
Yeah, they're average.
But if we're counting the backs, I'll knock it up to a 4, because I do really like how they had, a sentence, a phrase from each story on the back. Nostalgia, I'm just going to give it an even 2.5 or 3, whatever would be down the middle. Because I have read this, but it's been a long time, so it's not a lot of nostalgia for me. And continuity would be a 0, of course, because it's not, definitely, it's out of continuity.
Yeah. Yeah, continuity is always a tough one to grade. Especially for this. Dave, what do you think?
I'll just give it a general 3 out of 5, I guess, overall. I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. The art was really good. The story could have been better. Like I said, I would have liked them a little bit more. horror in it, I guess. I would have liked to see the aliens kind of rip some stuff up a little bit more. I thought
impale
it was
things. More things need to be impaled.
yeah, I mean, it's aliens. Like, do it. If you're going to do it, do it. So,
it might not have been that way just because it was DC. You know what I mean? And not really a adultish title.
Then don't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. No, it was good. Trying to find.
What do you think, Jimmy? We usually try to give a score out of 5 for art, writing, nostalgia, covers, stuff like that. But you can grade it however you want.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a overall probably like a 3.5 out of 5 overall. Because again, the story's not really meant to be taken seriously. Hence why the plot holes don't bother me too much. Because it's not as intricate as like a Batman versus Predator or anything where the story was taken really seriously. And I dig the design of the xenomorphs and everything. Again, they were a lot different than what I was used to. So I'll give it a good 3.5 out of 5.
Very cool. I think we're all kind of in the same boat, splitting it right down the center. And that's kind of exactly what I'm going to do here. I've read this before. I'm in the same boat as Tim. Read it before, really not nostalgic for it, but it's a cool story. It's just something, I guess, just to kill time. Don't take it too seriously. But overall, I thought it was just really cool. Then they did the Batman, Superman. They did a Aliens versus Superman as well, right?
Yeah.
They did 3 Predator Batmans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they should just stop at 1 because Batman versus Predator 2 was really dumb and it just got dumber.
Yeah.
I haven't completed 2 and 3, so the only one I've read is 1, and I probably read it longer ago than I've read this. I remember. Only thing I really remember is it seems like Robin was in trouble at some point. That's all I seem to remember.
Yeah,
and it's funny they take these alien and predators and they cross them over to they even did Predator versus Archie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
They did Sharknado versus Archie too. I would love to read that.
I didn't know they did Sharknado versus Archie.
I didn't know they did Sharknado versus anything.
Yeah.
They did Punisher versus Archie.
Oh yeah, that was way back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I think they redid it again or something like that. And Punisher was really killing people.
They did Ted Nugent versus Alien versus Predator. That was.
You know what I just found? Just searching on eBay. I didn't even know they did this. They do a Green Lantern and Predator action figure set.
Yes.
And then there is a Superman and Alien action figure set.
Did you see the Green Lantern and Predator Instagram post that I got? It was a Predator Sinestro Corps action figure. Like they made it.
Well, that really exists in the comics, right? In like the Sinestro War, you see a Sinestro Predator on one of the pages.
It was a cameo,
Really?
Yeah. Cameo. Like the Predator didn't serve any purpose really. He was just there.
Yeah, you know how you see a splash page with a bunch of different lanterns? On one of those splash pages, you see a Predator Sinestro Corps.
Huh.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they made action figures, and it was kind of cool. It was a convention exclusive really recently, like a year or 2 ago.
Yeah, for San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
The other one was for New York Comic-Con. They're really cool figures.
Yeah.
Do you have them?
Yeah.
Do you have one? Do you have one?
Can
you show us one?
Yeah.
If it's an immediate reach, I mean, if you got to go digging for it, don't worry about it.
No, they're actually over here. Let me try moving the camera a little bit.
Let me blow you up here. Let me. Where is it? Right here.
Actually, I have a better idea. Let me grab them.
Dude, his collection is gigantic. You guys got to see.
Wow, yeah.
So I have them in box, and I also have them loose on my shelf. But these are easier to grab at the moment. So here's the Batman versus Joker Alien.
Oh,
That's cool.
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, I've seen that one before. That's so badass, bro. That's so cool.
That's a really good Batman too. I like this one.
And it's the blue and gray one. I love it.
So
very
cool. One. And then let me grab the other one. This is the Superman versus Aliens from the second crossover God War.
Yep.
Right here.
Very cool.
Nice classic Superman there.
And these are
That
going for
is.
like over $100 online.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my
they're
gosh.
scalping them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Um,
expensive.
Yeah, originally I think they're like 60 or something like that. Can't remember.
Oof.
And
It's
the one
still-
I was looking at sold the next day, so they're selling too.
Wow.
This one's my personal favorite. It's the Batman versus Predator.
Oh wow!
That is cool.
So
Yeah, his Alien's Predator mech suit kind of thing.
yeah,
That's freaking awesome.
yeah,
He
the
was
Predator
prepared.
is gorgeous too. I love this one.
Yeah, that is a cool one.
Got the gunmetal paint, and they even got the yellow visors from the book too. So that's pretty sweet. And then the last one, which I think is probably the one that goes for the most, because everybody in the communities I'm in are after the Sinestro 4 Predator.
That is so awesome, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, this
That is so cool.
You even get the John Stewart head over here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's
Crazy.
pretty sweet
There
looking.
you go, Dave. Goals.
I
Yeah.
need it. I
We
need
know
it.
Dave's new toy grill starting now.
I know.
Dang, dude, that is so. I didn't like. Of course, if I know anyone that's gonna have it, it's gonna be Jimmy.
Yeah, and then like
so cool.
right there is all of them loose up there, way in the background. Here you can kind
Oh,
of
he's got multiple. I see the Hal Jordan. Yeah, and the Superman. Yep.
One of my favorite things in the background of what you got going on there is the classic, Predator victim that's been skinned, just hanging from the ceiling fan.
Oh,
Like-
Okay.
I didn't realize that's what it was. You're a sick dude.
I want to get more of those.
That's. I should put one up in my house and just see how long it takes my wife to notice it's hanging from the ceiling.
I think you should put one in every room of the house, man. Even in the bathroom.
That is awesome.
I need to try that.
Anyone who is not familiar with Jimmy Lee, go check out his YouTube channel. It's just straight Jimmy Lee is the name of the channel. He's got probably the biggest Alien and Predator collections I have ever seen in my entire life. I mean, it's got to be some kind of a record. It's beautiful. There's all kinds of cool pieces. It is everybody's dream of what an Alien or Predator collection is. It's just insane.
Nice. See, I need to get displays like that.
How big is that room you're in there, Jimmy? It's like a bedroom or something?
Yeah, it's a bedroom. It's a little bigger than your average bedroom, but yeah, nothing crazy.
Yeah, he's got an alien rug.
Yeah,
I didn't even know they made those.
it's technically like a fleece blanket, but
okay.
yeah, I got one on the wall too.
That's awesome. That's cool. Very, very jealous, man. But now that Jimmy kicked off our book show, who's next?
Well, I forgot to bring anything today, but I did want to show this real quick. So one of the things I liked while reading these was all the different ads. And I came across this one here, which caught my interest because this Green Lantern PVC set I've seen at my LCS for about last year. And I haven't picked it up because the box is damaged, right? So I saw it again here. And so I rushed out on eBay and I got both the Series 1 and 2 for that PVC set. So that's going with the collection now.
That's awesome, man.
I was looking at that. They had a Justice League one, I think, in issue 1 advertising.
Yeah. Yeah. They had some cool ads in these.
That's awesome.
So
Tim
yeah,
Gunn-
20 years later or so, whenever it was, right? And I'm still looking at the ads and buying them.
I was so busy thinking about new books. I'll just show what I got sitting here. This is another book I got in the Jack B mystery box. It's a cool Brave and the Bold with the Teen Titans. And then I'll just show the other thing I set up because I just set stuff up. I set all this up and didn't grab a book show. Have you seen this, Dave? The Crisis Weaponer?
Oh, wow.
I have not.
I got this at a half price books for $8.
I think that counts as a Green Lantern, huh?
Yeah, that's why I was asking you. Like, I consider it.
Yeah, I would too. No,
My-
I don't. Because that's definitely a Green Lantern character.
When I got this, my wife asked why I needed it, and I said, well, I have a Sinestro figure. If I don't have a weaponer, how do you get his ring?
There you go.
That's too cool. And the only thing that I really got for my book show, let me switch screens here. I've shown this a couple of times before, but there's been some updates. So this is, let me make myself bigger here. This is Dark Horse Presents number 24. This is you can't really see it, but in the print, it says it's the, origin and first appearance of aliens in comics. That's not true. I found out. I don't know why they made this mistake, but I guess there's some controversy behind it. The actual first appearance of aliens is in Aliens #1, which came out like 4 or 5 months prior to this. But I guess it was, I don't know, but CGC also made the same mistake as well as CBCS. They said that this was the first appearance of aliens and origin of aliens in comics. So I don't know if they want to recall this and correct the issue. It's probably not worth anything. That's, it's labeled wrong, but
I think it'd be kind of cool to have something like that that's labeled wrong, because you ain't going to get more of them.
No, you're definitely not going to get any more. So this is kind of cool little alien piece of my collection. It's just mislabeled, and I thought it was kind of cool. That's all I got.
And then there's collectors like us, Tony, that really don't care about those kind of arguments about which is the first appearance, because we've got both of them anyway.
Yeah, I've got exactly. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care.
Whatever, let them fight it out.
Yeah, right.
I win either way.
Exactly. Yeah, I actually have the first actual, alien, and then I have this one. But I thought it was cool that it's mislabeled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's cool too.
But like I said, CBCS made this same mistake, and so did CGC. So at some point, they were both singing the same tune. I don't know how they reference, I don't know how they would be able to make that same mistake, but they both did it.
Yeah.
So I don't know who screwed up first, but it's kind of funny. But that's it I got for my book show. Other than you can kind of see my gigantic stack of books I got going on here in the little corner. They're still sitting in the brown paper bag.
My pickups this week from my LCS were so light that I'm like, I don't even know if it's worth putting a video together for.
Might have to wait a couple weeks and just do one big video.
I know, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Did you guys manage to get the Green Lantern?
Yes.
I did. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's
that's all that matters, right?
Yeah. I really enjoy that run. That run has been really well. Run really well.
The art definitely changed up. And like I said, it threw me off at first in this issue 3, but it's actually really good how they did it.
It started off really weak with Green Lantern arresting God. And I was like, come on, man. Do we really need this? Like, let's not do this. But I think they corrected the course for sure. But that's kind of the end here. Let's go by and talk about our individual channels here. Tim, got anything coming up?
Yeah, I have. I've been doing my collection videos on Sundays, so I will do one tomorrow. Something I did yesterday, and Dave was on there. I did a show on speculation, and I had Strange X-Blade Stanibles Universe. It was a really, really good show, a lot of good information. Anyone that didn't see it, I would definitely recommend going back and watching it. And, of course, next week, we're not 100% sure on the day. Fanboys may be on Friday. So everyone keep an eye out for that. Yeah. And it will be on my channel. Just look for a post on Instagram. I'm sure we'll be posting what day it is. So it may be Friday, possibly Saturday, Fanboys next week on my channel.
Yeah, for sure. So. Don't want to spoil it, but should be a fun show. Dave, anything cool coming up on your channel?
Not a ton. Like I said, my pickups lately have been smaller. So I got those big books recently, and so now I'm kind of having to rein it in a bit. And so, it's just one of those times during your collecting where you take a little dip, just kind of saving up some funds, and then we'll come back. But I did pick up my new books. I'll find something to put together for a video there. I've got a couple unboxings that I'm going to be putting together, but the biggest thing really right now is, I've been focusing on, you can see it right here. I've been focusing on trying to get through I've got about 11 short boxes of unorganized comics that are just from like the last 6 months. So I'm going through and trying to get all of them organized, and I've got a ton of BCW supplies over there to put together the rest of these drawers. And so it's all going to go behind me here, and I'm going to need more space out here. So long story short, I'm trying to get my next room update video together, and I'm trying to push myself to get the room put together. As you can see, since I moved the racks I've had that big blank space over there for months now. So the ladder is coming out tomorrow, and I'm going to start hanging stuff on the wall again. So slowly getting this room put together, and then I'll put out another video.
Very cool. And for those of you who haven't seen Dave's room tour, check it out. Dave has like a really awesome setup that I'm very jealous of.
I've got the space. I've got the collectibles. I don't have it displayed properly yet. So it takes time. I'm looking at Jimmy Lee's setup, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I need. But
all Dave is missing is the shelves, and that's the best place to be in.
Yeah, get some shelves.
When you got the stuff and you got the room, you're in a good spot.
Yeah.
But Dave has one of the cooler collections in terms of comics on YouTube for sure. Very, very cool stuff, guys. On my channel, I'm working every day, coronavirus, working from home. I got stuff I want to do, but I just need the LCSs to be open. That's step one for me before I can do anything else. But other than that, this weekly show that we do, really enjoy it. Next couple weeks is going to be awesome. But that's kind of, for me right now, that's kind of what I'm focusing on is our weekly show. I've got some ideas in the bank, talking with somebody kind of important, not really important in the comic book industry, but cool enough. Hopefully I can make them appear on this show. Even
I
if
hope you do, because I'm gonna be like, Tony said you're not really important.
I was just gonna say, I hope they're not watching.
I've told them, and they're probably watching. They know.
You see, it's like Dan Jurgens. We're like, what? No.
Jeff Johns pops in. He's like, "Hey, man, I heard you said it wasn't very important."
We'd probably jump on there like, "Have you read Doomsday Clock, Jeff?"
Oh,
some other guy.
I didn't say any of that, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm just playing.
There's no way Jeff Johns actually. Do you think Jeff Johns watches like small YouTube creators? I don't think so.
I bet he does.
So. Why not?
Maybe not all the time, but I guarantee him or somebody that works for him does, because I think he keeps as good as he is. I know I just made fun of him. Everyone gets a Doomsday Clock when you put out as much good stuff as he has. I bet he keeps an ear to the streets because he sure seems to give us what we want. So,
well, keep in mind he's a fan too. He grew up being a fan, so he wants to see this success, everything go forward. But that's it. That's all I got. I forgot about Jimmy. Oh my god! So sorry, Jimmy. What do you got going on your channel, man?
So I also got a room tour on the way. I had a room tour. I was in a different place before, really like compact bedroom, but yeah. So now I'm in here, a lot more space. Want to do a room tour. And besides that, I have an unboxing I'm going to be doing of a 40th anniversary Big Trap Alien that I've been wanting for months already. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Awesome. Now that I've got you on the big screen real quick, can you go ahead and shout out your social medias real quick? Where can we find you?
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook just as Jimmy Lee. On Instagram with the handle Jimmy Lee Toys, and my Twitter is also Jimmy Lee Toys. So, and I'm frequent on pretty much all of that. So,
not Jim Lee, Jimmy Lee, guys.
Yeah. Not Jimmy Dean, not Jim. Jimmy Lee.
You know what? Now you have to go get a pack of Jimmy Dean sausages and like pretend like you're eating it, but the box is like xenomorph meat. So like xenomorph sausages.
I gotta get on top of that.
Yeah, I gotta Photoshop it and make it happen.
You bite into it and acid just like
his jaw falls off.
Make that happen, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's next on the bucket list.
There you go. But a big special thanks to Jimmy Lee for stopping by. Definitely check out his channel. He is a super Alien and Predator fan. So he's such a good fan. He's got a dead skinned human being hanging from the ceiling fan.
It's still swaying.
It's just swaying. I was checking out your videos last night to talk about you even more, and I noticed that, and I was like, that is freaking awesome.
He's hidden a little bit. He kind of blends in with.
He does. He blends in, but every once in a while he'll sway, and then it kind of gives it away.
The air movement where it needs to be.
Now you should get one of those, you should glue one of those invisible predators to the string, so he's like hanging on the string.
Yeah,
kind of invisible. That'd be cool.
What I should do is this Halloween, I'll just go to like a Halloween city and get those life-size skin bodies and put it on the door.
Yes, yes, that would be awesome. That'd be a heck of a doorstop.
Yeah.
But that's our hour. We've never had a show end at an hour and 15 minutes. And how long?
Yeah.
Usually we're like hour and 45 minutes, pushing 2.
Yeah, I mean this was a smooth episode.
It was smooth.
When you're reviewing a Kyle Rayner book, it kind of flies.
Yeah, well,
you just want to get through it, you know.
His construct frogs, his ring falling off, and him hitting on androids.
Hitting on androids, smelling them,
smelling androids.
Technically, he scored with her because that's how you know when the lady dies at the end.
Yeah, no unboxing Wu-Tang Tim. No, because Wu-Tang Tim has received a permanent ban from unboxing things on my channel.
I completely forgot. I thought about that earlier today and was going to mess with you. I really wasn't be like, I have another unboxing.
No, you're always welcome to unbox things on my channel.
That should be a thing.
Yeah. Every time we're on Tony's channel, I just buy the cheapest mystery box on eBay.
That should be a video. We should all find like the cheapest mystery box, like the lowest grade mystery box, and just hope and pray it's got like garbage in it.
I give you a link to it, guaranteed.
If anyone has not seen Tim's epic unboxing, check it out on the previous episode that was on my channel. It was interesting.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago. Wow.
At least we didn't get the one that smelled like pee.
Yeah. Check out this figure I got.
Why is it wet?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Why couldn't you have opened that one live?
Oh my god, that would have been so cool.
Time's been moving slow. That week feels like it was a month ago. It was only 3 weeks ago. It was beginning.
Check this out. Had you opened that live, that would have been like a viral video.
For all of you who don't know, Tim had unboxed a mystery box with literally pee inside of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it wasn't a mystery box. It was a figure I bought.
Oh, it was a figure. Okay. Well, I thought you were
the figure was like
pee in it.
Yeah, it was like if you ever buy a figure, it was a loose figure. So it was like in a box in 2 grocery bags, and inside that was like a Ziploc, and it was like they had peed in the Ziploc with the figure and sealed it up. And
wow,
yeah,
that'll teach you to buy from Squatchy again.
Yeah, exactly. So
that would almost be too funny. Well, that guy's lucky he didn't get caught, because I'm pretty sure sending human pee through the mail unauthorized is a crime.
I don't think you're allowed to send liquid through priority mail either.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they ask you anything hazardous. Pretty sure pee's hazardous.
Anything liquid or
let's see. We have a lot of fun. That's yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
But
you guys diss on me, and then Tony just ignores his guests and calls them insignificant. And almost forgets to let them throw their socials out.
Listen. It was a long day for me. Not as long as Dave. He had to call the moon or something.
Yeah,
and do tech support. No. He was talking to guys in the International Space Station.
Yep.
Telling them how to reset their Atari so they can get to wherever. But yeah, that's the show, guys. Double thanks to Jimmy Lee for coming out, talking Alien. Next time we do an Alien to Predator crossover, we should have you back because those are pretty interesting crossovers. Oh, they blinked. Where'd they go? Oh, there's Dave. He's back. And Tim's back. Okay. Welcome back, guys.
Did I go somewhere?
It didn't blink on our end.
All good on mine.
It didn't on yours?
Yeah, it must just be you.
Maybe I'm weird. But awesome. So we'll end it here. Awesome. I want to thank everyone in the chat for coming out. Definitely saw some faces that I didn't recognize, but we did see a couple of regulars. Magic Lasso, Johnny.
Metaphorical was here, and I know he wants to come on at some point.
James, he's more than welcome to come on. I Collect a Lot, Super Russ, Geeky Comic Guy, Comics with Bueller showed up. That's
Wow.
cool.
Bueller.
Yeah, right.
Pretty cool.
I don't think he's ever showed up. Definitely not on my channel.
I don't
Wow.
mind.
Oh
We
yeah,
must be
first-
doing
year
good.
on your
People like
channel,
that are
right?
showing up.
We are on your channel.
yeah, right.
Wow.
Dylan showed up.
Yeah, that guy.
Never showed up. Yeah, he's cool.
Metaphorical. Yeah.
Metaphorical.
That guy.
Well, I'm
Well,
looking
because
at.
I just mentioned he was here. Like,
People to have anyone on the show again. I mean, Tony's saying that nobody's important. Tim
Yeah.
refers him as that guy. I mean,
that
geez.
guy. Well, I just sort of met him and talked to him this week for the first time. He hit me up on Instagram and
Yeah, he seems like a
seems
cool
like
bro.
a cool dude. So
Yeah,
Yeah, no, he is.
Super Us. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him. He's pretty cool.
definitely.
But that's awesome. We'll end it here. Thanks everybody for showing up. Definitely hit up Jimmy's channel, give him some subs. He's got a lot of cool content. Don't forget to subscribe to each other as well. And next week we are on whose channel? Yeah, Tim.
Italy. Because
He's never-
we don't want to spoil it.
yeah,
Because we have a guest that may come on, and we don't want to say it just in case he can't. You don't want to make anyone feel bad. But if that special guest can come on, it'll be Friday. If not, it'll be Saturday. So
it's George Clooney, and he's going to talk about his epic Batman performance.
yeah, exactly.
So stay tuned. All right. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. We'll catch you all later.
See.